Looking for a new way to make some money with gig work, and maybe you have a larger vehicle like a truck or a box truck or something like that. Well, then we have the perfect app that we're going to talk about on today's episode that will help you make even more money in less time. Let's find out. Hi, I'm Tyler from the Rideshare Guy. On today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the app, the gig app Roadie, and specifically the new option they have, the Roadie XD. Roadie is a crowdsourced delivery platform that allows businesses to connect with independent contractors. They have a small pool of independent contractors, or small compared to other companies. Roadie is owned by UPS, but even though they're owned by them, they still are kind of their own separate thing. So working for them wouldn't be working for UPS. It's a standalone company on its own, just owned by them. That's their parent company. And as a gig worker, you are always an independent contractor working for yourself anyway. So specifically, what is Roadie XD? Well, Roadie XD is an additional thing that you can sign up for and apply for through Roadie. It's only available in certain areas. We're going to talk about where in just a minute, but this allows you to not just bid on specific gigs and particular gigs, but instead allows you to schedule a little bit ahead and actually schedule a time block and knowing exactly how much money you're going to get for working that time block. So for instance, it could be 6 to 8 hours where you work and you know you're going to have a specific amount of gigs and drop-offs and deliveries during that time.
In most markets, you're going to make at least $200 during that time, though it can go as low as $125 in North LA because of reduced hours. But the majority of the time, you're going to make $200 or even more for the scheduled block.
So 6 to 8 hours, and you know ahead of time, I'm going to make the $200. You can figure out if that's going to be worth it for you or not. You could get as much as $25 an hour, and some drivers are reporting that they're making a lot more than that. So we'll talk about what drivers are actually saying they're making right now. But typically we're seeing drivers are making really good money with this. This is something that you want to get $20, $30 an hour with, and you're able to schedule it ahead of time knowing you're going to make X amount of dollars on a certain day. So you're able to budget a little bit better and have this money and knowledge ahead of time when you're going into your work week. And so the Roadie XD allows you to not just have one single delivery. So Roadie, a lot of times you can sign up for just a single delivery where maybe you pick up from a CVS or a Home Depot or something like that, and you drop off to an individual. Sometimes you can get more than one. So you'll pick up one or two and drop that off. With the Roadie XD, it's going to be multiple deliveries. It's still considered one block, one gig, even though it could be multiple deliveries. So one driver said that they did 7 deliveries in that time, and they made $200. So you're able to make quite a bit of money and a little bit of time, and it kind of batches everything together, makes it a lot simpler. One of the things that I really like about it that I think is something that more gig apps should do is, though they will give you a suggested route of, hey, we think you should go here first and then here and then there, you are given all of the information when you go to pick it up, and you can kind of make your own route. So I've had several times where like an Uber Eats order will come in, it'll be a double, and for some reason it has me drive all the way across town, then all the way back when I could have dropped it off in a much easier and better way. With Grubhub, I have found that you can kind of skip to the next one sometimes if you have a double, and that really helps. But most apps don't let you do that. But with the Roadie XD, they do allow you to do that as long as you get the deliveries done in time. So that's a great feature that I saw.
Currently, Roadie XD
only available in Atlanta, Los Angeles, Chicago, New York, Orlando, Miami, Philadelphia, Oakland, Minneapolis, and Dallas, but they have plans to expand to a lot more places this year in 2025. So if you are on Roadie already, then sign up to be notified. You actually could get approved before it even comes to your area. Then when it comes to your area, you automatically can start getting the Roadie XD blocks right away. Now, because of the type of work that this is, more is going to be required than simply having a vehicle. We already talked about at the very beginning. You have to have a larger vehicle like a box truck or a truck or something that you can carry a lot more things. But in addition to that, you also have to make sure that you're wearing closed-toe shoes. So you can't wear flip-flops. I know I love wearing my Kinkos when I go out and do delivery driving. If it's going to be a quick thing, if I'm doing catering driving, I wear shoes. With this, you're definitely going to have shoes, maybe even boots. You might want to have something like that. You also have to have no passengers unless they are also Roadie XD certified, and no animals unless it's a service animal. And you also have to wear a high-vis safety vest. So you're able to get that from the crew at the warehouse, but they're also very cheap. You can get them online. We can even have a link in the description below of an Amazon link where you can get your own safety vest. But those are additional things that you have to have. You have to also be able to drive for between 2 and 7 hours, as well as have the equipment and everything necessary to lift up to 200 pounds. So you're not going to be able to pick up 200 pounds. So you're going to have a dolly or something like that to where you can carry and move around things up to 200 pounds. So those are additional things. So it's not just simply delivering things, but you have to actually have a little bit of work, but you also make a little bit more money. So speaking of making a little bit more money, let's talk about how much you actually can make. $200 per route. And the amount is going to be based on the mileage as well as the size of the items and the number of deliveries in a multi-stop delivery. So if you've got 5 deliveries in one of these routes, it's going to be less money than if you have 10 deliveries in the routes. If you have something that weighs 5 pounds, it's going to make less money than something that weighs the 200 pounds. The other thing about it is you are guaranteed a certain amount. So if you sign up for a 6-hour shift, and you're guaranteed $200 and it takes you less time because maybe the route was a little bit better, you still get that $200, which is something that I really like. And if you don't have a vehicle that you can drive this with right now, but you want to give it a try, you can actually rent a vehicle through the Roadie app and go through Hertz and actually get a discount on renting a vehicle in order to go out and to make this money. So just like Uber and Lyft tend to have rentals that you can use, Roadie also has worked with that to allow you to get these different vehicles so that you can get out there and make some money. With the regular Roadie app, you're going to see a lot of different gigs. You have to bid on them to try to get them. One of the things I love about the Roadie XD is that you're always going to be multi-delivery. It's always going to be something that's going to be more involved, which always means more money for you. So definitely try it and check that out. You're able to schedule blocks ahead of time. We had an interview on the channel before of a Roadie driver, and they were able to schedule these blocks with the Roadie XD. He said a week ahead of time. So I'm thinking about myself and maybe you try to sit down a week ahead of time and go, okay, what days am I going to work? It's a lot easier if you can pull an app up and go, oh, there's a shift available. I can make $600 if I work these 3 days. And then I know, okay, well, then I'm going to have the other 2 days off next week because I'm going to make $600, which maybe that's enough for me to work that entire week. Maybe that's not enough. Maybe you need $1,000. You're like, okay, I'm going to work those 5 days, make $1,000, and then I'm going to drive for Uber when I'm done, or I'm going to do some other app as well. But you're able to schedule ahead of time, which is something that I really like and appreciate about any app, but I've never seen one that's able to schedule that far ahead of time that pays this much money. Again, talking to real drivers, check out our interview on this. It is very informative and gave you kind of a really good picture of why Roadie XD could be for you. One driver that we saw online actually mentioned they made $165 in 2.5 hours making 7 deliveries. So you're able to make a really good amount of money. We're not going to say you're going to make that every time, but you're, again, guaranteed an amount of money. You're guaranteed to make money in a certain block, and you know exactly when you're going to go out there, exactly what you're going to do. So it's great that you're able to do that. So there is a new app for you and even more that you can sign up for with Roadie and Roadie XD. Let us know, have you signed up for it? Are you in those areas that are able to drive for it right now? Are you going to sign up? Are you going to sign up and get on that waiting list for when it comes into your area? Let us know. Let us know if you have any questions. Please leave a comment below. Subscribe to the channel because new information comes out every single day that'll help you make as much money as possible in as little time as possible. And until next time, stay safe out there, everyone.